This is Michael T. Moore, President and General Counsel of the Sonic Labor and Visual Entertainers Union. You will soon see these handbills being given out to performers on the Strip and at Fremont Street. The importance of these handbills is to alert you to what is about to happen. One thing that's going to happen is on Wednesday, January 31st, we're going to have a union meeting from 2 to 3 p.m. We have some wonderful victories to share with you, and we're going to arm you with everything you need to perform and either stop any tickets or beat them in court. We've been winning for about 3 or 4 months now. Our federal case is about to go to the first hearing, and hopefully we'll get a federal injunction to stop Metro and the casinos. Now, one of the problems we're having right now is the people who don't come to these meetings. We simply don't have the union reps and manpower to spend 30 minutes to an hour with all 500 performers that are in town right now. It's impossible to do that. That's why we ask you to go to a meeting so we can say it once and you let us do our work so we can defend you. Do your part. We've been putting a lot of time into this for a couple of years, and we're about to be able to stop this harassment and what we call domestic terrorism. Now, the other handbill here is for the Planet Hollywood Picket we're going to do on February 3rd at 12 noon. It says, Vegas Strip and Fremont Street public performers are suffering ongoing domestic terrorism by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, who are acting as agents of the casinos. Now, this might seem like an extreme word to use, but it's actually the lawful word to use because they're violating human, civil, constitutional, and labor rights of the public performers. It is defined as domestic terrorism, and we need to call it what it is. Sheriff Lombardo is responsible for this because he's acting as an agent of the casinos, because the casinos want us gone. This has been a 10-year plan that they've had, and they misuse the sheriff to run us off the sidewalks. They also misuse the courts in maliciously prosecuting us, and the courts have now turned into some form of wrongful termination, constructive discharge, human resources board to rid us of our ability to perform in public. This constitutes a primary labor dispute because we are a community of performers and we are a workforce. They're breaking the law on so many levels. It's not gray, it's black and white. We have to get this before the judges. We have to start pleading not guilty to all tickets and defending ourselves. Now, if you wish to picket on February 3rd, right here is an email address to let us know you're coming so we build enough picket signs. We don't need to build several hundred picket signs and only have 100 people to picket. So it's important that you RSVP. Now, let me explain to you the Vegas Wrong hashtag concept. Vegas Strong was a fake PR campaign that was put together in 2015 by the Convention and Visitor Authority in case of any terrorism that might happen. And what's interesting about it, it was a generic campaign so we could all bullshit each other and bullshit the tourists that Vegas is safe. Vegas Strong. Well, how can Vegas be strong when the performer community is brutalized in a pre-19th century roundup and fake courts and everything else? The picket sign here says the casinos and Metro PD criminally and civilly unfair to the performers. That's exactly true. And the words domestic terrorism are exactly what these people are engaging in against the performers. You can come to the picket in costume and you can still get tips. That's legal. There's nothing preventing that. So we're going to meet February 3rd at noon on the southeast corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon, to the north end of the escalators by the former Harley-Davidson Cafe. We'll distribute picket signs, then we will walk to Planet Hollywood where we will give speeches, we'll have some guest speakers, and we're going to discuss this because this needs to make national news so we can get some relief before we get before a judge, which is taking an unusually long time. The lawsuits have all been filed and we're still waiting for our first day in court. Now, at the bottom of that, it's www.whathappenedinvegasthemovie.com, which is a documentary about Sheriff Lombardo and Las Vegas municipal police officers who are blatantly murdering people that visit Vegas. So, the performers aren't the only victims. A lot of black people are being killed, outright murdered by LVNPD. And nothing is being done to stop it. This police department is completely out of control, because when you see on those giant billboards in front of MGM, it says, "Join Metro, protect the city." It should say, "Join Metro, protect the casinos," because they don't give a damn about the locals. They don't care about the tourists. They don't care about the Constitution. They only care about making sure these casinos make the maximum amount of money they can make. And these casino owners sit there and they look down at our tip jars and they figure that's their money. Well, it's not their money. And if we were inside the casinos, I could see them having the controls they have, as that would be private property. But the Las Vegas Strip, the Las Vegas bridges over Las Vegas Boulevard, Fremont Street is public property and constitutes a public forum where the supreme law of the land, the First Amendment, rules. What they're doing is criminally wrong on so many levels, and we need to put a stop to it. We've tried working with them in good faith. However, they're not interested. The only thing that is going to make them obey the law is a federal judge and massive lawsuits that will possibly bankrupt some of the parties we're suing. They've had 5 years of warnings, and you know what? If they go bankrupt now or they pay $1.5 billion in lawsuit settlement, so be it. They made their bed, they need to rest in it, and misery is optional. I've explained that to them in good faith, so ordinances could be written that would not violate the performers' rights. They're not interested in that. They're interested in continuing to break the Constitution and violate our rights. So we need to expose it to the world via this picket line and more pickets that will come. I promise you the D Casino is going to get a picket line after this one. And we're also calling on performers from outside of Las Vegas to assist us. Spread the word. January 31st, 2 to 3 p.m., union meeting for all Las Vegas Strip and Fremont Street public performers. RSVP if you want to picket on February 3rd to the address on this flyer. We'll build enough picket signs. If we get 500 people, we'll build 500 picket signs. If we get 100 people, that's how many signs we'll have. And I want to explain to you all the hard work that we have done and will continue to do. And we're great generals and we're great coaches, but we have to have a team in order to carry out many parts of this. The legal stuff, we're secure on that. We have our lawyers, we have our legal team, we have our executive board. But we need you holding a picket sign to defend yourself and your rights. This needs to happen. The union meetings help unite us in a common cause when we're in those meetings, because we can speak away from the Strip where it's not noisy. And when we come together united and through our solidarity, we can defeat this monster.